started going up from 10 megabytes. Maybe 20, 30 megabytes.
I don't know. I don't know what those numbers mean, so I'm not offended.
So I'm gonna take that as disrespect. Welcome back to Not a Strong Start, a movie podcast by three filmmakers that let us talk movies, television, and today we're gonna be talking about The Boys because we all are huge fans of it. It's an awesome show. We want to deep dive and go as deep down the crevice of The Boys. Yeah. It's our own version of Hero Guys.
Octopus fucking kind of deep. That's how much we want to go in there.
Exactly. So I'm your host, Daniel de Sangre, King_Sangre. Didn't even need to say my handle there yet. Didn't need to do it.
I'm Jose.
Oi, I'm Jose.
Yeah, right now you're just Charles Bernal.
I know. I didn't change it. I'll be Charles Bernal today.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm Huey, Dewey, and Louie today, but really Huey from the show. Current events. Chuck, what do you got?
James Caan died.
He's obviously had some great memorable performances, phenomenal actor. The big one is he played Sonny in Godfather. Really great in that one. Yeah, I mean, it's always a great debate between Godfather 1 and Godfather 2. Do you guys have a preference? Which one you guys like more?
2.
2?
Godfather 3, because I never saw the first 2.
That's right. We know, Chuck. I think Jose, I think I go 2 also, but 1 was still so good, man. Marlon Brando is amazing in it. But
it's one of those things you're choosing between 2 great things. It's so many times people think choosing one thing over the other means you have to bash the other thing, or you think the other is not good. Sometimes one thing is just better, but both can be good.
Yeah,
like boobs and booty.
Exactly. Yeah, literally like that.
Okay.
You're not wrong in your answer. You're not wrong in whatever answer you go with. It's just preference, people. It's preference. Is there another performance you guys want to talk about? Misery. He's great in Misery.
Oh, like Misery. Dang. I forgot about that.
Yeah. It was an interesting casting when he was in the movie Elf, because I like the movie Elf. I think Will Ferrell's hilarious in it, but James Caan I thought was perfectly casted in a weird way because he's so anti that Elf movie, which is what his character represented. But like, it looked funny to see because he's not really a comedic actor, you know what I mean? So to see him in that role and to see him try comedy, it just reinforced his character so much that I thought it worked well for it. All right, so The Boys. So we just ended up. So The Boys, of course, is a show on Amazon Prime. It's based off of a graphic novel that's been out. How long has it been out for? Do you guys know anything much about the graphic novel, the comic books?
Yeah, well, the comics, it's already ended. Originally, it had started up in 2006, and it went all the way into 2012. I think it's spanned over 72 issues before it closed out. So it's been 10 years since it ended.
Oh wow, nice. Did it have a big run?
It was a 6-year run, 72 issues. That's not bad. You know, it's not like Walking Dead that I think was like way beyond 100 issues before it closed out. But you know, 72 issues, that's still a good run, 6-year run. I think the creators were, I got their name here, Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson. Those were the original, with Garth being the writer. And I believe Derek was the illustrator on there. Which, fun fact, what I didn't know, did he knows that The Boys originally, they were trying to option it, trying to pitch it out as a movie. Originally, it was Columbia Pictures optioned it out as a movie, and they were trying to get it done. At one point, Adam McKay was attached to it. And then it went to Paramount, and Paramount was trying to go the movie route, and it just never materialized before I think Cinemax, I think, were the ones who started going towards making it a series, and eventually it went to Amazon.
That's interesting, man. I'm so glad they went that route with it. You know what I mean? Because that was the problem with Watchmen. I felt like I love the graphic novel. It was really good. But then when you watch it as a movie, Zack Snyder, I mean, he did a decent job for it. I don't have like major complaints of Watchmen, but the graphic novel was just so much better. It would have served way better as a television series, because then you were able to kind of flesh everything out. You're able to give us everything that would be in the, in the book, as well as, be able to add a little more extra to it. So otherwise it feels kind of crammed, and it feels like you're glossing over a lot of stuff. So with The Boys, doing it as a movie, I mean, the TV show is so much better, man. You're able to like touch on so many things and expand.
I agree, especially if it's a property that's not very well known to anyone. I had not heard about The Boys until the series came out. And now I do own the comics, but I still haven't read it, and I probably won't read it until the series is done. But yeah, I think that makes it even harder. If it's something that's not well known, to go straight into a movie where these characters are not established, I think that also setting yourself up for failure.
Do you know if it's like loosely based, or is it really strongly based off is it more of an adaptation?
It's kind of, well, you never read The Walking Dead. It's kind of the same as The Walking Dead. It's like, it's based on it, but there's changes. Like certain characters do different things, right? Like Black Noir, like does stuff in the show that maybe the Deep did in like the book, of stuff like that. It's a little bit like that, but I finished it. I can tell you guys how it ends.
No, it's okay. I don't want to know,
sure?
But yeah, like Umbrella Academy, for instance, it's very loosely based. Umbrella Academy, the show doesn't really follow the graphic novel too much, and they've created a lot of their own original stuff. Like they'll use concepts and ideas, but it's very, very, very different, the television show.
Stop trying to make fetch happen, Dan. No one wants to watch Umbrella Academy, dude. You've been pushing this for like 2 weeks, like it's fucking crack, dude.
Because it's great.
No one wants to watch it, dude.
Hey, me and the three people that watch it on Netflix, okay? We enjoy it.
I guess you can call me no one, because I also watched it and enjoyed it.
Yes. There you go. See, Chuck, it's us two and two other people in the world. Suck on that.
Yeah, you two and Elliot Page love it. So
it's okay.
Elliot Page, who they want to be the Flash now, and I'm like, stop it. Have you seen this?
Do they really?
People are pushing for Elliot Page to be the Flash to replace.
Why wasn't this your current event? This should have been your current event.
I mean, they're also
Con.
They're also pushing from what's his name, the guy who was in Maze Runner. He was also I think in Teen Wolf. He was the lead in Maze Runner.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They're pushing for him, I think he can pull it off. He's got good comedic timing. He's done action before, so I think I would prefer him.
Okay, sounds good. So all right, so getting back to The Boys. So Chuck, do you love the graphic novels? You like them? Like, do you like it better than the TV show? Which one do you like better?
No, I like the TV show better, actually, which is funny because we won't get too off on it, but like The Walking Dead, I preferred the graphic novels by a million, so much that it made The Walking Dead show shit for me. Like I was like, it changed so much. It didn't hit like those high notes that it needed in the book, that I hated the show because of it, the book. Yeah. But with The Boys, I liked the graphic novel, I liked the story, but the show is a lot better though.
Yeah. So, but how would you guys rank the third season overall? Better, worse? How do you guys rank?
I think it's the best season so far.
Yeah, so I would probably go 3-1-2.
3-1-2. Yeah, I'd side with that too, because the first season was so good. The second season, which happens a lot with shows, right? Usually if you get like a really great show, the first season tends to be really, really good. And then it usually has a little bit of a step back, because it's because they're setting it up for the next one. And then hopefully with the third season, it bounces back and it gets stronger. So
yeah, and just I think expectations too. Like people are like, dang, season 1 was so good. Can't wait for season 2. And maybe it is just as good as the first season, but you were just expecting so much more that you're like, but it was still good. It was still really good.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. So now are you guys ready to get into some spoiler talk?
Spoiler talk.
Yeah,
let's spoiler on here, Dan.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Mark alert. It there on the bottom.
Oh no, you spelled it wrong, Dan. You gotta fix it.
Okay, hold on.
It's spoiler with an S, Dan, not a P.
All right, so Herogasm. I know they kept hyping that up for the show, So I'm assuming, was it crazy in the graphic novel? Was it almost like worse?
It was crazier in the graphic novel.
That's what I figured, because I know they
Yeah.
can't go too detail without it being like full on X-rated. So how was it in the graphic novel?
If I remember correct, 'cause it was a few years ago I read it. I think it was on an island. Like I think they went somewhere for it. Yeah, and it was nuts, dude. It was like I was reading like porn.
Literally nuts, like nut
It's
testicles.
literally nuts. And I'm not saying anything because we got banned on our ads last time. So
Dude, back to back weeks, we've been banned on our stuff, and every time that happens, they bury our video. So like, I don't even think we pop up in the tags or anything. That's why the traction is so much lower. So we need to start being a little more PC with this a little bit, just a smidge.
Yeah, no, yeah. I affected a few people. They hit me up on Instagram. They're like, dude, I can't look at ET the same.
That's all we're saying. We're not saying anything else, YouTube. That is it. So we'll carry on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'll
okay.
just say this: Hero Gasm was a lot more gasmed in the graphic novel. So
okay. How is okay? So first of all, the best character. Are we all unanimous on the best character of the show?
Homelander?
Are we? Huh?
I think Homelander's the best character.
I think Homelander too.
Yeah.
How about you, Jose?
Yeah, it's Homelander.
Yeah, right. And I think that's the consensus. Anytime I talk to people, like Billy Butcher's awesome, and the general consensus is everybody loves him, but Homelander is such next level. Like his character is amazing. It's one of the best villains. I think it's one of the best villain interpretations we've seen in like a while. You know what I'm saying? Because you see the actor does, especially this season. You know, there's that season. I mean, there's that scene where he's looking at himself in the mirror, right? And he's talking himself up and all that. And it's, we see that we don't see that type of level of acting and character, you know, thought process that's going on. They really stretch the limits of his emotions. And he's easily the most, I think, well-rounded character than anybody else, right? Than even our heroes. Because even though they give Billy Butcher, you know, and Huey even their arcs, Homelander has hit so many. Like that actor is doing such a great job, man. Anthony Starr. Yeah. Do you guys know much about him? I haven't really. I don't recognize him other than this.
I watched Banshee. Did you guys see Banshee? It's pretty good. It started on Cinemax and now it's on HBO Max, where he's like an ex-convict and he goes to this town and he ends up killing the sheriff there, I think, and he becomes the sheriff, but he's like a bad guy. And he's like does good, like he's still trying to abide by the law, but there's a bunch of the little things. It's a little corny here and there, a little bit, but it's pretty good, and it's good for like if you like him as Homeland, like you'll love him in this show as well. Yeah. It's pretty good. It's called Banshee. So it's really good. Pretty underrated, actually. It's good. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. I don't think I've heard of it.
So yeah, okay. It's funny because someone had pointed this out on Twitter, and I didn't know, even though I watched some of the show when I was a kid. But both him and Butcher were on Xena Warrior Princess. They were both
were they really?
Yeah, and now here they are facing off in this show.
That's funny, man. When I see photos of him outside of the show, he looks so different than Homelander. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know it's a wig that he wears, but like he just looks very different to me. He looks almost unrecognizable, almost like he really transforms into that role.
What you're saying, his acting, especially this season, has been spectacular. Like he doesn't have to say a word; just his mannerism and facial expressions themselves. You see him switching between the different emotions, sometimes on a dime, and you can see it, and it's believable. The internal turmoil and struggle that he's going through. Not only are you hearing it or witnessing the scene, but you're seeing it on his face, and how quickly he can switch from vulnerable, crying, weak to about to burn your face off in a matter of like 1.2 seconds.
Yeah, man.
No, he's a scary character. I trip out on how, like, I watch it and be like, God, this dude's so fucking scary. You know, and I love how he's scared. He fucking scares everybody, you know, and he does like this pause where he's just like, and then he'll say, it's cool, don't worry about it, have a good day. And they're like, oh fuck. You know, like
they're all scared, man. And then even when you have Black Noir, Black Noir this season, I really liked how they gave us more layers to the guy, especially when you see like the whole animated characters and everything. I felt bad for Black Noir because as they give us his backstory, you see why he's, I guess, I don't want to use like what is it? He's been burned, scarred, whatever. Probably can't even talk anymore.
Mutilated.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but he's stuck. He's literally stuck between a rock and a hard place in this one because he's fearful of Homelander and he's fearful of Soldier Boy, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna die. Like they both between the two most powerful people, you're gonna die, man. Like the guy had no hope.
I don't know if he's definitely scared of Soldier Boy because of the trauma he suffered back then. I don't know if he's scared of Homelander. I feel between him and Homelander, there's like a level of respect. He's actually the only one that Homelander respects. Yeah. So I think there's a mutual respect there. I don't think there's a fear. I mean, that might be different now, because honestly, I don't think he's dead. But when he comes back, which I still think he will come back, I don't think there's a fear aspect with Homelander in there. But now that might come as anger going forward. But Soldier Boy, he was definitely terrified of.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got to at least have some kind of PTSD of dealing with somebody of that level of powers. But what makes you think he's not dead?
Well, one, the way he went, it's just too anticlimactic to go out that way, especially with this character that's been shrouded in mystery throughout. And we finally had a season where they developed him, and you're seeing that that trauma and going through, and then he finally deals with the trauma. Just on a writing basis, it seems too anticlimactic for that to be his end right there and then, and that's it. So that's in the story sense. The other aspect of it is we know he has healing ability. We've seen him use healing ability before. It might take a long time, but we've seen him when I'm blanking out on her name, but the woman who's
Maeve.
part of the boys.
Maeve?
No, not Maeve. The one who's part of the boys.
Starlight.
Oh no, it's yep.
Yeah,
Kamiko.
Yeah,
Yep, Kamiko.
She fucked him up, and he healed from that. There was the guy, I believe it was in season 1, the villain that was created who can combust and explode. He had chunks of him missing, and he was able to heal from that. So there is a healing factor to him from what the show has showed us. And I think, again, that touches on the psychological trauma he has with Soldier Boy, where I think he was badly hurt in that battle trying to take down Soldier Boy back then. I'm wondering if the reason why he didn't heal is because there's that psychological block with that trauma.
Yeah.
Because he was healing for everything else, but that his face never healed.
Yeah. That would be the question. But you do see Homelander with the helmet, right, that he puts on at the end to kind of symbolize his death. But what do you think, Chuck? You think he's really dead, or do you think he comes back? Well, I mean, you already know, but they might change it in the show, though.
No, I know.
You know for a fact?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm people who know people, dude. Come on, man.
The only people you know is us.
Know this.
you know us.
No, I think he's dead. Like I think that I hope he's not. I was actually sad when he died. I was sad. Like I was like, fuck, I felt bad for him, and then his little cartoon buddies and stuff, and I thought it was kind of, I'm gonna say, I can never say this word, ceremonial, kind of. I felt like it was like it wasn't like where it wasn't like he got his guts ripped out and then that was it. And it's like, do we see him die? Like his little crew kind of said goodbye to him and they were sad, and I felt sad. So I think he's dead. But
I do too, because exactly what you said. And I just think like you can't have every character killed in a brutal fashion, because then it just we sort of become so desensitized by it. I felt like this was kind of like a send-off, like a sort of like a funeral in a way. I mean, I hope he comes back, but the issue that I had a little bit, and next I want to kind of get into issues we had with it, right? Because I don't think The Boys is perfect. It's phenomenal. It's a great show. I still highly rank it, but there's still a little bit of things that could have been improved on, at least in my opinion or our opinion, as we're going to share. But one of them that I want to tackle is the ending. You know, we showed Maeve with Soldier Boy, and we see them explode. But then at the end, it's like, other than Black Noir, potentially, nobody really died. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, there wasn't any final things. Like, Maeve easily could have died. We didn't need her to come back just to go away to an island, unless they're going to bring her back at the very end when they really need her. But do we? Like, do we
I
really need
mean,
her?
I don't mind her not dying because it's a good closeout for her story. After everything in the downhill that she's been through, she finally gets what she wants, which is everyone thinks she's dead. She can go live out her life.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense because Maeve was very powerful also. There's a reason she was in the Seven, the reason why she was the counterpart to Homelander. And as you saw with their one-on-one, she can handle her own with Homelander.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that she was powerful enough that the blast was not able to kill her, but still strong enough to strip her of her powers.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
You make me feel a little bit better about it when you say that, but I was bummed that she didn't die. And not that I didn't want her to die, but it doesn't, there's a word I can never think of it. There's no stakes, I feel like,
Yes.
when characters just come back and they come back. So like if they're like in a dire situation, I don't feel that stress and anxiety because I think, well, even if they die, they're gonna fucking come back, or they're probably
Yeah.
not really dead.
Yep.
So when she came back, I was kind of bummed. And not because I love her character, I do, but I was like, I would have felt more impact and like my emotions if she would have died.
Yeah.
So like better for the show.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I feel.
I feel the same way because it sort of has that the fear of any of our characters can die. And other than really the first season, we haven't really, none of our main characters have been really dying off like that. You know what I mean? For there
Yeah.
being such high stakes, nothing.
I
And even
mean,
when we finally got that, I thought, okay, cool, like that. Like, oh no, like I kind of want to mourn that she died. She's not.
Yeah.
well, I mean, we did, even though she didn't come in until season 2, but they did kill off Stormfront, who was a major character.
Yeah, they did, but it's sort of like I don't want to get too much into spoilers about other shows, but there was another show that I won't even hint at it. But sometimes shows will do that. Well, they'll create a character and they're basically just a one season character, and then they'll usually kill them off at the end. So sometimes they've known to do that. So even though yes, it's impactful, like you said, they tend to just keep killing off villains and they're not really killing off the heroes too much. And I kind of want to see that a little bit.
Yeah, like I kind of wanted to, I didn't want to see it, but I was kind of thinking that Frenchie was gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
It
just
seemed
had this
like it,
feeling.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, he just
yeah,
was on like that path to like he's going down. He's got so
yeah,
much pain and anguish. He's been tortured. He's been, like I feel like he's finally gonna break free of like
yeah,
the chain,
yeah,
like on the collar, but then he was gonna die for it.
yeah,
Like it just and I wanted it. I kind of
yeah,
wanted to see it. I wanted to see somebody from like the core group like die.
yeah,
Either the hero or not hero.
yeah. And it seems as if some storylines are kind of being stretched a little bit. Where like I know something's gonna, like A Train, for instance. We're seeing his story slowly develop, and we see him trying to break out, and people keep saying, you're not really fighting for people. You're selfish. It's like, I got it already. So if they're setting that up for him to eventually go rogue or to join Butcher and the gang, the boys, then like I kind of want to see us get there already, because it's obviously heading towards something. Or if you're going to end up killing off his character before he actually has that, which I don't think they are. I think they're going to give him a character arc. I think he's going to go out a hero. I kind of want to see it already. I want to see him get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I go back and forth with A Train too. Sometimes I'm like, fuck, I hate this guy. And then he'll kind of redeem himself and I'm like, I like A
Yeah.
Train. And then he goes back again. Like when he
Yeah.
apologized to Huey for killing his girl, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
that was good.
Respect. Yeah.
Like,
Respect.
yeah.
Overall, I'm
Yeah.
not a huge fan of A Train. unless we see the full transformation, because exactly what you said, I'll see little moments of it, but I'm like, okay, like I kind of know where this is going already. That's why I keep saying like, get there already. Otherwise, I'm just really not liking the character, you know?
Man, fuck A-Train.
Exactly.
I started to feel bad for him this season, and then when it looked like he was turning over, and then when he turned into a snitch and got Supersonic killed, I was like, that's it. Any little bit of sympathy gone and will not be regained.
Yeah.
Get rid of our Mexican hero.
You know, you're about the people, but you're over here killing the Latino. Yeah. The Latino superhero. So I'm like, all right. Yeah. All right, Jose, give me a gripe.
Yeah, one of the things is, I guess, Huey, this season, just the way his character arc was going, I was not a fan of this really. Like, I feel his arc was more for Butcher's development than Huey's development itself. It was for Butcher to realize that he's turning another younger brother, into himself.
Yeah.
And him realizing that was Butcher's journey, but they were kind of using Huey's arc to do that. But it was like, from where Huey was at the beginning to where Huey ended the season, was there much growth? He kind of went on this little arc and then ended up right back to where he was personality wise and his thought process wise. So in the end, he didn't grow from his arc. It was all for Butcher.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Chet? Huey?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that, because he was trying to do whatever he could to stop like these soups as Huey. And then he went into like, oh, now I'm a superhero and this feels better. And then and then he just went right back. But I mean, I think that's where he belongs. Like, I don't know where I would take his character, to be honest, other than like to the dark side with the soups and then back again, because then he hooked up Starlight with like the lights and stuff, and because he was about to take the compound V or whatever it was, the temporary V, and he's like, wait, I have another way. I don't have to do this. And then he kind of helped her out that way, but seeing Butcher like scene, it's like, well, I'm just killing somebody else again, somebody else that I care about, whatever. And so I think Jose's right. Like, it was kind of meant for Butcher's arc, I guess, or to kind of redeem himself. And I hate Ryan. Is that his name, Ryan?
Jack Quaid.
Oh, Ryan,
kid,
yeah,
Ryan,
little kid, little fucker, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
That was my transition.
No, for sure. So I wanted to quickly touch on Jack Quaid, the Huey character, because I totally agree. Of my biggest gripe of the show has been the use of Huey the character, because I thought season 1 was the most we got out of his character, right? The death of his fiance, even that opening scene when you see, A-Train run right through her and the blood splatters on his face. That's when I knew right away, I'm going to love this show. This is amazing. Yeah. But his character is kind of plateaued now. And even in this season, it was about, oh, I feel weak as a regular human. I want to feel like, like I can fight back. Yes, but that was kind of your arc in season 1, right? Because your fiance and you couldn't do anything about it. We're in season 3 and you're still struggling with the same thing. Yeah. That's kind of why I feel like, okay, like, it's not that Jack Quaid has underperformed this character. I think he's doing a good job with it. I just think they're not quite utilizing his character to his full capacity, because Jack Quaid has like this funny kind of quirky comedy that could work, that's pretty funny. We don't see a ton of moments of that. They could do it a little more, but if they want to keep him more serious, that's fine. But I want to see more between him and Starlight. I feel like it's a little surface level to say he feels weak because he's dating a superhero. It's like, yes, but of course she's a superhero. You're a regular dude. Of course you're going to be struggling with that stuff. So if you already feel that way, then why are you still dating her? Like, you kind of put yourself in those positions. You're purposely fighting superheroes, and now you're feeling inadequate because you don't have powers and you feel weak against them. It's like, well, yes, that's why you guys are grouped together fighting them. Like, Frenchie doesn't give a fuck that he doesn't have powers. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like evolve him a little more.
Yeah. Maybe they did. Maybe he finally saved her, because he was always saying, I want to save you, I want to save you. And she saw he saw Soldier Boy going after her, and he's like, "She's fucked. I'm gonna take this temporary V," and then he gave her extra lights. I don't know. Maybe that's where he's like, "I'm good."
Could be. Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Okay. So your other gripe, Chuck, you said was Ryan, the boy.
I mean, it's not a gripe. I just hate that little fucker, dude.
Yes, but I do too. But I think I actually liked how they made him evil at the end, because now he became interesting to me. Before he was just a little boy. He was very vanilla. The fact that he got that smirk, I see you're gonna be a villain. You like being the villain. He liked the evil at the end, and the smirk showed me you're going down that Homelander route. Like, yes, give us more
and that's
villains.
what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying I hate him like I hate Cersei Lannister. I hate her because she's so good and evil and bad, like such a good villain. That's what I'm saying. Like, I hate that fucker, dude. Like, he's gonna cause problems, you know. So
I mean, I don't know if it was just me, but I was partially rooting for kind of the Soldier Boy at the end.
Dude, so was I.
I'd be like,
I was like pissed. Yeah.
Whatever problems happen now with Homelander and Ryan, because they stopped Soldier Boy. Because even though Soldier Boy finding out this is his son, he was so committed about the mission that Butcher was able to convince them, like, you know, whatever, mission over blood or whatever it is that they said. And then Butcher's the one that backs out at the last second. But he was going to keep his word, even with the information he found, finish the mission, take out Homelander, take out the future sociopath at the same time. And they stopped him. So whatever happens now, that's on them.
Yeah. And let me know how you feel about this. But I was rooting for Soldier Boy, right? Like you're saying, like at the end, I was like, fuck yeah, take him out. Now, my question to you is, I fucking love Jensen Ackles, you know, it's Supernatural, you know, he does the DC animated. And I'm like, do I just love Jensen Ackles? Or do I love Soldier Boy? Like, I was kind of a little bit conflicted as I realized I was rooting for him.
It's
both. I was rooting for Dane.
Yeah.
I was rooting for Dane. Soldier Boy did some bad shit. You know, absolutely outdated and terrible viewpoint on life and social norms. But I kept seeing Dean, and I'm like, he's redeemable, damn it. He's redeemable. He can change.
He's not. He can't. But no, I think that he was a nice different spice for this season, because again, you know, some of the characters are still battling the same character arcs that they're battling with. So when they introduce these newer characters, they're awesome. It's something fresh. It's something new. And this guy, I love characters that are so what they are, meaning like, you know, Homelander's a sociopath. So they really show us those elements of him being a sociopath. Like, he's very deep down that well. Soldier Boy, same thing, man. We see how deep that well goes, and it's fun, man. I was cheering him on too, but at the same time, like, I don't want to see Homelander die, man. Like, he is the show. You know what I mean? Like,
that's one thing this season added, is for the first time I was watching, I'd be like, ooh, this is someone that can take on Homelander, mano a mano, one-on-one. So the whole season you're anticipating it, because this is the first time we've seen someone that was like, this person can humble Homelander. Even at the end, you know, he was whooping ass, and you see his level of power, because Stormfront was second most powerful in the 7. She was extremely powerful to the point. But one blast of laser eyes from Ryan started tearing her limbs apart, and then he pretty much burnt her to death. He hits Soldier Boy with those same lasers, knocks him back. He's up in a couple of seconds. Now he's more pissed off, and he hits him with the shield. So you see like the power level difference even between Soldier Boy and Stormfront, who's supposed to be close to Homelander.
Yep. Oh, for sure, man. Where do you guys think season 4 is going?
Yeah. Well, I mentioned already part of it. I still think we have not seen the last of Noor, and I think he's going to come back. Because if you look at it now, especially with Soldier Boy in containment again, and it's probably the last we'll see of Soldier Boy in this, there's not really much to match up against Homelander. If you look on the quote unquote good guys side, they lost Maeve. She's no longer powerful. We probably won't see her again. Butch and Huey are now probably permanently depowered, and Butch is dying. And then, yeah, so they actually don't have much power wise on their end to be able to take on Homelander. And Homelander has backup in the government at possible vice president, probably moving up to president. So right now they're just completely outgunned going to next season. I think someone like Noor coming back, being upset and angry over the betrayal, might help even out the odds a little bit, because I think we haven't seen the full extent of how powerful Noor is.
Yeah, I think A-Train is gonna have. I think they're gonna try to bring him somehow on the good side. He's probably gonna have his reputation completely.
We don't want him.
I just feel like from a character, like that's what it seems to be where his storyline is going. It seems like he's fighting for redemption. So I think some way or another he's gonna get redemption somehow, and the show's gonna do with its excellent writing. It's gonna make us like him. I think. I think they know what they're doing. You know what I mean with his character. They know we don't love the character, so I think they're gonna find a way of doing redemption.
Yeah, I know what I wanted to say, by the way.
Okay.
So, the fight that they had with Soldier Boy, Homelander, and Butch was fucking awesome. Like, it was so good. Like
that's what you forgot.
Yeah, because it was like 2 episodes ago. But like
Huey,
it was just,
don't forget Huey.
And Huey, like it was such a good, like the build up. I saw it come. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And I watched that shit like 10 times, dude. Like I was like, this is so good. This is so good. This is so good. The fight, like it rivaled and surpassed certain other Marvel movies that I've seen recently with their poor ass CGI, where like it was so fucking good. And I was like, damn, I can't believe I'm watching a TV show. Like this fight, like this effects, like all of it, the choreography, it was just so good that it was like I was watching a movie. I guess that's what I wanted to say.
Oh, bro, I agree with you. When I watched it the first time, and then you get the scene where they meet up across the hallway and they see each other, I punched the couch. I was like, here we fucking go.
Dude, I was like, yes. Yeah. I did the same thing, dude. I was like, fuck yeah, let's do this. Like I was fucking pumped, dude. I literally watched it at least 10 times, dude. Like I was like, right, here we go. You know, and like it was a lot better, like I said, than $200 million budget, movies that we've seen like the other day, which sucked, which I'm not gonna say about.
The fact that Soldier Boy makes fun of his cape and then uses it to beat his ass.
Yeah, so good too.
Yeah,
you're wearing a cape.
Yeah,
dude, how awesome is his voice? That's his voice? God, dude, I fucking
yeah. So, all right, guys, what's on the queue? What do you want to recommend to our listeners?
I know what I don't want to recommend: The Umbrella Academy. Instead of watching The Umbrella Academy, which Dan's going to tell you to watch The Boys instead if you haven't. But if you're watching this, you probably already watched The Boys, so just watch it again. Or no, you know what? Read the graphic novels. How about that? Read those. Those are good.
Okay. So my I wasn't going to do Umbrella Academy, but now I'm going to do the Umbrella Academy. Listen to the guy that's actually seen it, not to the guy that's never seen it. So do that. He's refusing to watch it just because Elliot Page is in it. Literally the only reason why.
That's not true, dude. What are you trying to do to me, dude? You trying to get me fired? What are you trying to do here, dude?
No, you'll do that on your own accord, sir.
Let me be clear. I don't like, what was her name before?
Ellen Page.
I don't like Ellen Page. Elliot Page, cool with me. Ellen Page, didn't like Juno and all that shit. I didn't like her as Kitty, whatever, in X-Men.
Kitty Pryde.
Not a fan of her. Yeah. Love Elliot Page.
Love it. Loving every minute.
Love him. So
make that 3 weeks in a row.
All right.
Hello, episode. Welcome to the bottom. For my cue, sticking on the superhero theme, I'm gonna recommend Doom Patrol. So it's also a hero show, a little unorthodox, can be a little weird, but also a good, entertaining hero show. You can find it on HBO Max.
Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. You can watch us and like us, subscribe, please, on YouTube, Not a Strong Start. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram at Not a Strong Start. You can listen to us on Apple and Spotify and Anchor. I'm your host, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. King_Sangre, Sangre.
You can call me Oi. You can find me at This Is Mi Nombre.
You can also find me at This Is Mi Nombre. I'm Jose.
He's a dog. It's face off. You guys are gonna swap faces like like Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
So who's gonna be the Nick Cage and who's gonna be
John Travolta as Nick Cage.
John Travolta as Nick Cage. Got it. Sounds good.
Nick Cage as John Travolta after being Nick Cage and being John Travolta.